Your attention is your only true asset that you have in this world. Once that's taken from you, everything is taken from you. Your creativity, what you think about, the things that you want, the things that you used to dream about, the goals that you used to have. If your attention is taken by something else that does not serve you, game over. Game over. And nobody comes to this realization of how bad, social media and all these things are for you. These cheap dopamine rushes, they don't move you forward at all. They don't make you happier. Maybe in the moment they may make you, giggle and chuckle and make you feel all fuzzy inside. But then when it's all said and done, say you go a day without internet and you just don't even know what to do. You kind of go insane because all you want to do is, keep up with what's going on in the world, keep up with everything else, when you should just be keeping up with you. That's why this world this whole new generation is just so lost. We're so lost because we don't take time to just dive into ourselves, our own interest, our own, self-discoveries. We're so caught up in everything else, everything that's going on in the world, and the things that just do not matter. At the end of the day, none of it matters. The only thing that matters is what's inside of your close proximity, what's inside of your mind, what's inside of you, what's inside of your heart. That's what matters. All this other stuff, all these other things that just do not serve you, they're pointless endeavors. They're pointless, man. And nobody realizes this until it's too late. Until you're in your 30s and 40s. And then you look back on your life and a lot of it was just, you were just scrolling on social media. What are we doing? What are we doing? We got to come to this realization collectively. To realize, man, we need to relearn how to communicate with people again. It's so sad because even if you try to just do this on your own and try to just go on your solo journey of becoming someone who could just detach from social media and not be so enveloped in your phone and that world everybody else is, so then you'll feel like you're all alone. You'll feel like you're the odd one out because you are, but you're the most human out of all of them. They're all droned in to just, bro, I'll even see older people, the older generation are stun-locked by this too because they vastly do not understand. And they are stun-locked by this new technology that they may think is great and all this stuff. You can do all this stuff and it's so amazing. But then they detach from reality. The reality that actually matters. Reality used to be this beautiful thing that we can just look around and, ponder nature, ponder on our ideas. Creativity died so much because of social media. I'm telling you right now. We wonder why there's no good video games anymore. There's no good movies. There's no good this. It's because creativity got sabotaged. That's why. Because instead of, the people becoming great and, really deep diving into their mind, they're on social media. The people who could have made those great movies, those great video games, those great, just creative ideas, they're stun locked by social media and their phone and all this, shit. So then they never become that great director, that great this, that great that. So if you can utilize that to your advantage and realize, how much of an advantage that you can have if you can detach from social media and really just, garner in on your own attention, you can take over this world. You can do anything. It's so much easier. The whole playing field is completely leveled out because everyone else is distracted. So then you can get ahead so much easier. And if you can understand that, then that's how you can win. But it's kind of unfortunate, though, all in all, like that not everyone can win. Like everyone is just a victim to their phone. Nobody has a free mind anymore. We are more capable than ever before to have some sort of sense of a free mind. But people they're distracted. They're too distracted. They don't understand the consequences of this, how dire they are. That's why everyone moves so much slower too. Nobody moves out anymore when they're early. Nobody, gets married right away, this, that. And they blame it all on the economy, which is partially true. But it's just people just lack that, urgency to move forward because they're comfortable. They're comfortable with all the cheap dopamines in the world. They could hop online. They don't need a girlfriend. They could just hop on the hub and just, stroke one out. Just easy, cheap dopamines. We got DoorDash, we got Uber Eats, and honestly, those things are real convenient if you could use it to your advantage, like order groceries or stuff like that. Not waste your time. But if you're using it for just, making things easier, but making your life worse, then what are you doing? And then people won't want to do the hard things anymore neither. They won't want to work out. They won't want to, this, that. They won't want to just, try to get a better job. They won't want to just try to get a better education. Nothing. They won't strive for more in any sort of way because they're so comfortable. That's why your attention is just so, so important. You have to realize this now. Especially if you're younger, you have to realize this. Because it will get to a point where it's too late because it becomes a habit. It becomes part of your daily routine to just be distracted. Now you have to be distracted for hours and hours and hours out of your day in order to, feel some sort of, accomplishment within your day. And it distracts you from getting better. It distracts you from evolving. It distracts you from, the beauty that we have around us. This life is a gift, man. This whole life is just a gift. It's not given, it's a gift. But everyone doesn't treat it like that. Everyone treats it like, we have it forever. That all these like precious moments, we don't care about them no more, We're so family oriented and just everything is just chaos, man, chaos. You hop on the news and you just, if you watch the news in general, you're just, what are you doing, man? But the news just, it's there for you to just be scared and be fearful and not take action on anything in your life and feel like you're just doomed already from the start. That's all the social media does as well. It propagates all the, all the famous people. It propagates them, and then you feel like you can't do anything significant with your life. Even though these are just normal, regular people who have just understood this concept of garnering attention instead of, distracting themselves with it. And that's why they were able to take advantage of this, golden era of time that we are in right now. You have to realize how much of a gold rush this is, how much of a golden opportunity, golden era this is to transform your life. Stop looking at it like it's like everything's bad and everything's the worst it's ever been. It's the best it's ever been. But you just suck. You just want to get distracted all the time. You're okay with all the distractions, When if you can just get rid of all that, you can run laps around everybody. I'm telling you right now, you can get rich. You can, you can do whatever you want to do. You can get your dream physique. You have all the information out there in order to just grow and evolve. And you can actually win. You can actually win. You can beat yourself. You can beat all the competition if you just, lock back in and focus all of your attention on your dream. Your dreams that you used to, think about all the time when you were a kid, and you were guaranteeing yourself that you were going to grow up and become this thing. And what happened? Social media might have not existed when you were a kid, but now it does, and now you're just distracted, and you can't do anything great with your life because you're just distracted. That's the only reason, right? Otherwise, you would just be so bored. You would be so bored that you would just move forward and find things to do. And that would just, lead you down a creative path. It would lead you down, to making more valuable friendships and relationships with people, like genuine ones. But instead, you're just distracted with a whole lot of nothingness. You're entertained by people that do not care about you, that do not know you. Like, they took advantage of the system. They're just out here making money, as they should, right? But you got to realize that for yourself and realize how to use that to your advantage in order to get ahead. And the best way to do that is just stop consuming social media. You're being gluttonous. Food is one thing, but social media is maybe just way worse. Because you don't think about it. You watch all these TikToks or whatever, you scroll all day. And for what? You haven't even learned anything. You can't even remember the last reel that you watched. Because it's all just nonsense. It's all just cheap dopamine that does nothing for you throughout your entire day. You just did nothing. So you have to just come to that realization and actually start to get your shit together. Because life isn't just going to wait around for you. Life isn't just going to happen and help you out. You have to be very proactive in order to give yourself some sort of a good life. A life worth living. Otherwise, if you don't fix it now, that'll be your life for the next, entirety of your life. Because that's the routine that you set out for yourself. And now you're just not going to want to go against it. You're just going to keep on going with it. But you got to just remember your dreams and the things that you used to want and just start chasing them again. Treat your life like it's the movie, like you're the movie. Like you're the main character in the video game. Otherwise, you truly just are an NPC. Nobody wants to play a character, or nobody wants to watch a movie where the main character is scrolling on their phone and doing nothing, not progressing the story forward. That's a horrible movie. Who would want to watch that? Who would want to pay attention to that? So you got to think of your life like that. And then the more that you just, garner your attention and take action, the more possible your dreams just become. And it kind of gets easier and easier the more action that you take, because that becomes your new habit. That becomes your new norm. And then you kind of get disgusted at even, the thought of hopping on social media and just endlessly scrolling. No, you got shit to do now. You got a mission to, endeavor on. And just, a lot of people don't realize this. I don't really understand why. Maybe it's because I grew up in between the two generations where I understood, the value of not having social media because it didn't come out yet when I was a younger kid. But then, in my teens when it came out, I understood it could be advantageous, but it's also very toxic and very bad, because I seen the other side of it. I seen both sides of it. But a lot of people just straight away grow up with social media, and then they don't understand how great the other side of it is, how great the social media side of it is. Of actual life, You can live such a great life if you just step away from social media. I'm telling you right now. It is the very thing that's making you so anxious, so depressed, all this stuff. Because once you log off and you got to get back to real life, man, your life is going to feel terrible, because you've just been delaying everything and putting off all the good things you should have been doing, all the progress you could have been making. You've been putting it off because you wanted to, laugh and have a good time on social media. Now, if you're creating on social media, that's how you take advantage of the system. That's how you actually are supposed to utilize this tool that we have. Otherwise, get the fuck off. There's nothing there for you. Yeah, you can educate yourself, but maybe it should take a half hour to an hour a day of really just educating yourself with certain content throughout the day. Otherwise, instead, go read a book. Go listen to an audiobook. Go just listen to music. Music is incredible, man, because with music, you can get that little cheap dopamine, I suppose, if you really crave it. But with that, you can get shit done at the same time. The music could amp you up and actually better your life. Whereas, watching movies or social media or all that, you're stun locked. You waste your time, you waste your days, and you only have so much time in this life in order to progress forward and move forward. So why would you want to waste it all the time? It's just you gotta just wake up to the fact that they want you to be weaker. They want you to just be all distracted and anxious and all this stuff, so that you don't gain any power for yourself, so that you don't become somebody that they can fear. That's why they do it. It's all purposefully done. It's not accidental. So you just got to come to that realization and lock the fuck in. Real shit. Try to do it little by little. Try to go a couple hours without it. Especially right before sleep. Maybe read a book instead or something. And then go a couple of days without it. Right? And then just try to get better and better and better with it. That's how you do anything in life. You just little by little get better and better and better with something. And then you start to master it, or you just that just becomes you now. So you want to become somebody who isn't dependent on social media, doesn't got to hop onto social media as soon as they wake up, spike their dopamine and start scrolling. Oh my God, this guy died, this guy. All this stuff doesn't matter. You didn't even know the guy. Come on now, stop fucking around. Stop fucking around. Nothing on social media matters. Nothing on the news matters. The only thing that may matter is the weather for the day. That's fucking it. Check the weather app, see how sunny or rainy it's going to be. That's it. Like everything else on the news is meant for you to just be in a fearful state of mind. It's like, oh, you should know what's going on with the wars and stuff like that. Oh my God. No, that's all just for you to fear as well. Like if it's really that bad and your country's about to get blown to bits, you'll know. You'll know when it's going to happen in your real life like scenario. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Like, and that's not to be like really like what's it called, like emotionless or something like that to the people going through that. Like obviously that's real unfortunate and that's real terrible, but it has nothing to do with your life. That's just the honest truth. So that's it, man. Just get off the social media, get off the news, you don't need any of that shit. Just get your attention back at all costs. I love y'all. Peace.